I would like to show you the Hotfix Design Kit. This is a great kit to help you with your Hotfix crystals. I just want to take a moment and explain Hotfix crystals. They are a flat back crystal that has an adhesive on the back side. When the crystal is heated, the adhesive melts and will adhere right onto any fiber on which you put it. It can be used on pretty much anything. For washing instructions, you just want to make sure you turn your garment inside out and then you can wash it. I want to show you the components that come in the design kit itself. The Hotfix Design Kit is designed specifically to help you with the placement of the crystals, because when you put all the little crystals down, sometimes it's hard to move a pattern or to adjust things. I'm going to review all the instructions that you would find inside this kit. They're right here inside the top envelope. We're going to review all that, but you know you have it in writing as well if you need to refer back. The kit itself comes with 3 different things. One of the things that you get is the pattern. So you're going to get several sheets of this particular pattern. The pattern itself has 3 different colors of lines. There's a dark line, a medium line, and a light line. And depending on the size of the crystal that you're using, you're going to follow the different lines. A very light line would get the very smallest crystal. A medium gray gets the medium crystals, and the darkest gray gets the large size crystals. So it's really an easy pattern to follow along with. The crystal packs that I'm using are an assortment of sizes and colors. They have a light and a dark, and they come in a lot of different colors. These are very beautiful. They are Swarovski crystals, so they really catch the light nicely, and they're very vibrant. All right, so you have your pattern. The next thing that you have is a silicone base that you're going to work with, and then you have a tacky adhesive sheet. This has some adhesive on it. When you're working with this design kit, you want to iron with an iron. The Hotfix tool gets a little too warm for the plastic that's on here, so you want to work with something that is not quite as hot. You want to work with that iron. So this one is for scattering your crystals, just so that you know that we're going to use the iron. All right, so I have picked out my design that I want to use, and the first thing I'm going to do is put down the silicone, because this lets me see through and I can see what my design is going to look like. And then I would come over to my crystals and I would start putting my crystals in place. Now I'm going to use the larger size crystal, even though this is not my darkest design, so that you can see what I'm doing. So I would just simply place these right over that design and get them into the arrangement that I want. And because of in the essence of time, I won't make you watch me put too many of these down, but you can get the idea that you would place these in a particular way and a particular pattern, and then once you're happy with what you have and you like the design that you've created, you will open up, it's basically just taking the backing off of your sticky adhesive, and then you'll put that right down over your design. Now what that's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to pick up the crystals right off of that silicone sheet. So now I have the backing on there, and I'll be able to position this where I would like it to go. So I'm going to move these out of my way, and this is my fabric. I can then decide where I want my pattern to go, how I want my pattern to go, and I can place it right down wherever I want it to be. Now I've gone ahead and heated up my iron, and I have it on a relatively hot setting, and position that, and I would simply take this and heat it right over the top of the sheet. And the first time I did this, I was a little worried, am I going to melt this sheet? But you're not going to melt it. Go ahead and put that heat on there, and let those crystals fix right into the fibers. Now the idea is that you're heating them up. Sometimes when you're using a variety of sizes in here, you do have to go over the heat a little bit, because your smallest crystals are not as high as your bigger crystals. So you have to just make sure your heat goes all the way down. And I'm just feeling it to make sure I'm nice and warm there. And then I'll peel up the adhesive. Now, if any of my crystals come back up onto the tacky sheet right here, I can simply put it right back down and reheat and then continue until I have that exactly how I want that to go. All right, but I do know that they are adhered, so I simply remove that up. And now I can use this over and over again by simply putting it right back onto that piece that I had before. So this can be reused over and over, and now I have my crystals right in place. Let me also show you with the Hot Fix tool, it has different tips on it. And depending on what size crystals you're using and what it is that you want to do, you would pick a different tip for each of your projects. I've gone ahead and heated up the flat tip. I prefer to use this one because regardless of the size crystal I'm using, it will allow me to heat up the crystal and place it in place. But I do want to show you that these little tips are concave, and they're all built for different sizes of crystals. And if I have the tip in my tool, I can simply put the tip over the crystal. This is not the right size. I can put the tip over the crystal and it will pick up the crystal, and then I can place it wherever I want, and with a little pin I can release it and then put it down. Oftentimes though, with the heat it'll melt and it will come right up, but you can see there's a slot in there so I can knock that crystal right off. You would not want to touch these tips when they're in the tool because they do get very, very hot. So let me show you, if I wanted to do just a scatter design with my crystals, I can sort of randomly place them, and then coming in with the Hot Fix tool, I simply put that right over the crystal and it will heat it up and embed it into the fabric. So I can place those right where I want them to go. And doing my Hot Fix designs is super easy now that I have that Hot Fix design kit.